So, this whole Terry Crews thing. This whole Terry Crews thing. I know it's happened a couple of days ago, but I did want to kind of just throw my opinion into it, or my 2 cents, whatever. So, people are basically sitting there slandering him or shitting on him because he didn't stand with Gabrielle Union. Gabrielle Union stood up for him when, Terry Crews was talking about the whole sexual assault incident that happened with him a couple of years back when he was just starting out in the industry. So she stood with him. And, now this whole, America's Got Talent thing, after that whole thing blew up or whatever, Terry Crews kind of looked at the situation and he was like, it was based by an unnamed source. And he basically was like, listen, I'm going to ask my wife for advice on what to sit there and do. And his wife was pretty much like, yo, I didn't say anything, so you shouldn't either. So basically, he listened to the advice of his wife. And that's pretty much where he stood at. And people are getting so upset with him because you didn't stand up for your sisters. You didn't stand up. Here's the thing. I find that to be such a fucked up concept for a couple of reasons. You don't stand up for someone based off of their skin color. You don't stand up for someone based on their gender. You stand up for them based off their character. You stand up for them based off the circumstance or the situation that they're going through. You should never just sit there and blindly stand up for somebody based off of their skin color or based off of their gender. That's a pretty fucked up thing to do, and it just, I don't know, I feel like it divide us as a fucking country. So I don't agree with that at all. I don't agree with what the girl on the reel said. I don't agree with what Charlamagne said on Power 105. I do not fucking agree with that shit whatsoever. I don't agree with that. You should stand up for somebody based off of their character and based off the situation. If I'm gonna stand up for Gabrielle Union, I'm basing this off of her character and I'm basing this off of the situation. I'm not there, so I'm not gonna sit there and say what happened or what didn't happen. So I can't sit there and say, oh, I stand for Gabrielle Union because she's black and I'm black, so I'm supposed. No, that's a fucking brainwashed fucking mob mentality. You don't do that. Now, if you're in a similar situation, if I was in a situation like that, then I could see myself standing up for her. But I wasn't there. So I can't sit there and say whether I believe her or whether I don't believe her. I'm kind of just like, I'm going to stay out of it. Now, if you want to sit there and say, oh, you're not standing up for her because she's a sister, fuck you. Fuck you, because that's a fucking mob mentality, and I'm not subscribing to that. Now, again, she doesn't come across a person that just makes up shit to make up shit, so I'm not sitting there saying that she's lying, but I have no proof that she's telling the truth, so I'm kind of just like in between about it. Now, here's the thing. I was on his side for that part. But then when he came out his mouth and was like, the only person who I have to please is my wife. Not my daughters, not my co-workers, nobody else. Now, here's the thing. And this is pretty much where he fucked up. Where he basically was like, I just have to please my wife and not my children. That is where you just fucked up. Because at the end of the day, you always stand for your kids. Regardless of anyone else in this world. You always stand for your fucking kids. Your fucking first priority, the minute that you have a child, is to your child. It's not to your wife. It's not to your spouse. Hell, it's not even to your fucking mother. It's to your child. So, and granted, I'm not a father. But even I just kind of stood there and looked at him like, really? Like, that's really how you... That's where I had issue with Terry Crews, is when he came out his mouth was like, I put my wife before I put my children. That to me, here's the thing, I don't know Terry Crews as a person, and I can't sit there and judge him on how he treats his children because I'm not there. I'm not there for the day to day. But that to me, that's just so fucked up. I mean, I'm not even gonna sit there and say that's backwards, that's wrong. That's just fucked up. That's your world, and you know what? I feel sorry for his children if that's how he feels. That to me is where I felt like he felt. That's to me, I felt like he just fucked up. But the whole idea of you standing up for your sisters or you standing up for your brothers and stuff like that, you don't stand up. I'm not standing up for another black person because he's black. I'm not doing that. Okay? I'm not standing up for him. I'm not standing up for a Chinese person. I'm not standing up for a person based off their race. That to me is just completely fucked up. And so the person that, hold on. The person on the View, on the Real, or no, the Talk, I think. The Talk. That said that it's just fucking wrong, and I totally disagree with her. But you know what? Here's the thing. I feel like even in that situation, anyone from the fucking Talk doesn't have shit to say because you still kept on Lori Love. And she was the person that came out of her mouth and said some fucked up racist shit towards black men. And some sexist shit towards black men. So if you can keep a woman like that on your show, honestly, anything that you say after that means absolutely nothing to me. Because if you can sit there with another person that can say some fucked up shit like that, anything that you say means absolutely nothing. And Charlamagne, well, he's just a hypocrite in general. He's a fucked up, hypocritical fucking racist. So him speaking on Terry Crews to that extent of, you not standing up for your sister or whatever, you're absolutely fucking wrong on that, and you should shut the fuck up. But him going at him about what he said as far as like putting his wife before his daughters, that I will give to Charlamagne. I'll give it to him because, he's speaking from a father's perspective. And, I mean, on that note, he has more power to fucking say that than I do. So, just 1 second. Yeah, just in general, I don't know what this means for Terry Crews. Now, people are listening to saying, oh, you didn't stand up for her because of your job and stuff like that. Here's the thing. And, granted, he did double down and was like, listen, I don't have to please you. Just because you did this for me doesn't mean I have to do this for you. Now, that kind of speaks towards his character to an extent. Yeah. Now, the whole, he's protecting his job. Listen, at the end of the day, as fucked up and as wrong as this sounds, sometimes you do got to put yourself and your family before others. It's fucked up. It's fucked up. It's sort of the same situation with Steve Harvey and Monique. And Steve Harvey was practically like, yo, listen, at the time I couldn't stick my neck out for you. I had other people that was relying on me. Now people kept saying, oh, well, that's fucked up of you. That's fucked up of you. That's his job. And his job as a father and a husband is to protect and provide for his family and his kids, Like, you have to sit there, he had to sit there and put himself above Monique as far as his job security. And I'm not mad at him on that. And if people are upset at him about that, then that's on you, I understand, like, in a perfect world, yes. In a perfect world, you would sit there and you stick out your neck for, Monique, you stick out your neck for Gabrielle Union. If you feel like she's just and she's right, you stick your neck out for her, you support her, yes. But this isn't a perfect world. And it only takes so much to fall from grace. And then once you do, if you're out, that's it, America Got Talent, they fire him. He tries to get another job somewhere else. The higher-ups look at him like, yo, listen, he's good until he has to sit there and defend his friend or his family or whatever. We don't want him. It doesn't take much to get blackballed in Hollywood. It doesn't. Ask Monique. So, I'm not upset. Even if that was the case, even if he was not there trying to protect his job, put his job and his family ahead of her, I ain't mad at that. I'm not, because at the end of the day, you have to sit there and do what's best for you and your family. Period. So I'm not upset with him about that. I understand that people may be upset with him about that, but it's kind of a. I feel like it's kind of a. 1 second. I feel like it's kind of a naive outlook on the world of, I gotta sit there and protect my friends and stuff like that, and even if it costs me my job and my career, and you do that, I'm good. And in a way that does kind of speak to my character, but it's not an ideal situation where you could just sit there and judge somebody like that. You didn't protect your friend. You had to protect his family. He had to protect his job and his interests. And the interests of his family. When he goes out there and he hustles and he does all these jobs and things like that, he's not just doing it for himself. He's doing it for his family. And that's just how it is, It's not right. I mean, ideally it's not right, but it's right under the circumstances of it, if that makes any sense. So that is just my thoughts on this whole Terry Crews thing, and all in all, I do stand with him to an extent. I let's put it this way: when it comes towards the him and Gabrielle Union thing, I stand with Terry Crews on that. When that whole thing with his daughters, that's on him. I'm not. I ain't siding with that. That's just fucked up. There's no other way to put it. So.